The course is designed to look at the way in which the sort of two of the major trends and processes that happen in Western Europe after 1945 interact. So these two trends or processes are the Cold War on the one hand and European integration on the other. It's a course that is very much linked to my own detailed research, so it builds on that, but it essentially looks at the way in which Western Europe changes and evolves as an international actor, and the way in which interaction between Western European states changes in the period from the end of the Second World War right the way through to the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. So hopefully it's quite an exciting process. It's fairly groundbreaking in as much as typically these fields have been kept apart, and so there's quite an extensive historiography on Western Europe during the Cold War. There's quite an extensive body of literature on European integration, but those tend to be separate things and they don't speak to one another, and what this course is intended to do is put those two bodies of knowledge in dialogue with one another. The course is structured in a typical second year of the undergraduate fashion. In other words, there will be a weekly lecture in the course of which I will set out both what happened, but also some of the principal schools of thought or interpretations in the existing literature, and then we will follow that up with a class discussion structured around a series of questions which I circulate in advance, where we try and have a more interactive debate, and where I will be asking the students for their views about some of the major controversies, some of the major issues. Well, I think it's a very good way of understanding the way in which the Europe in which we live was built and was established. These are crucial formative periods, and some of the issues that we'll be discussing, European integration, the international role of Europe, the extent to which Europe as such should exist or member states dominate, the role of Germany, all of these are issues that we discuss when we read the newspapers today, but they are issues that are there at the heart of this particular course. The relationship with the United States would, for instance, be another. The world that we live in is still one in which there is a discussion about how this particular area of the world, namely Western Europe, or now no longer Western Europe, but Europe more widely, should be organised, what means of cooperation are best, how much cooperation is needed, and how that Europe should interact with its international partners, whether they be the United States or elsewhere. And so all of those issues, which are very contemporary, very topical, are in a sense better understood if one realises that the integration process is not something that started yesterday, but is instead something that essentially traces its roots back to the Second World War.